UN 80 is designed to improve the impact and effect of multilateralism and the UN. We've had many political challenges going back a few years now, the financial constraints we're operating on, but also a certain questioning of, does multilateralism serve its purpose? The UN 80 initiative provides the opportunity to subject ourselves to detailed scrutiny. This is not simply a cost-cutting, downsizing effort. The objective is to make the UN better, to make it stronger, to enable us to respond effectively to the multiple challenges that are out there. We're looking at efficiencies and improvements within our existing institutional arrangements. But then too, we're looking at the substance of what we do, the mandates that we implement. If you look at our programme budget for 2025, it's based on no less than 4,000 different mandates. Let's take a look at them. Let's see where there may be duplication and find redundancies. We might want to look at the architecture of the United Nations system, at the different structures we have in place, which have grown over 8 decades and have become quite complicated.
No sacrifice of development and human rights to what is indeed an important and core mission of the UN, which is peace and security.
The Secretary General has a margin of decision-making. He can do a certain number of things on his own authority, but for the most part, member states will decide where this thing goes. And I want to say we've got some real assets as we move into this work. It was no small thing that the UN system was able to adopt in the General Assembly last September, a pact for the future. It gives us a great blueprint of the things that we need to be focusing on, the types of substance that can make us a forward-looking system. I think UN 80 clicks into that. The success of UN 80 will be judged by the impact that the United Nations is able to have for our end beneficiaries, the people who need the support of the UN.
Hi, I'm James, an award-winning researcher, a youth delegate at the UN, and an international-level STEM Olympiad contestant. As founder of Storm Thinkers, I'm devoted to building resilience against environmental disasters and protecting the health of vulnerable communities as well as the environment. When I learned about Global Goals Week's Future of Healthiness Forum, it immediately resonated with me. This annual gathering brings together over 170 global partners during UNGA High-Level Week to transform SDG commitments into real action. What excites me most is that it's a platform where 1.2 billion young people, or 16% of the global population, can directly influence decisions shaping our future. For me, Global Goals Week represents exactly what I believe in: bridging the gap between awareness and implementation. As youth, we're positioned as current changemakers whose digital nativity and innovative thinking are essential for achieving the SDGs by 2030. Through this forum, I hope to connect with decision makers, practitioners, and fellow changemakers who are committed to building healthier, more resilient communities worldwide. In 2019, tragedy struck Sichuan when during a mission, a sudden wind shift created an eruption, killing 30 young firefighters. Among them, 2 were just 18-year-old students like me. Knowing that escape was nearly impossible, these true heroes stepped forward, and their sacrifice shocked both the nation and each of us personally. This heartbreaking story from Sichuan is just one flame in the global wildfire crisis engulfing our planet. From Australia's Black Summer that displaced nearly 3 billion animals, Canada's smoke apocalypse spreading chronic disease to 100 million people, to the recent Los Angeles firestorm that destroyed over 16,000 civilian buildings. The threat of wildfires knows no borders, and the wildfire story is a global one. So you might wonder, what's stopping countries around the world from containing wildfires effectively? The UNEP report, Spreading Like Wildfire, provides a key insight. When wildfires happen, firefighters create clearance belts by removing vegetation to block ground-level fire spread. But here's the problem. While these barriers block flames on the ground, they can't stop what happens in the air. Burning embers travel kilometers through air currents in unpredictable directions, creating ember attacks and igniting new fires beyond containment lines. According to Insurance Institute of Business and Home Safety, ember attacks claim approximately 30,000 civilian lives annually, making them the deadliest aspect of wildfires. In addition, they also release 33.9 billion tons of carbon dioxide every year, creating a devastating feedback loop accelerating climate change. Research by the UNEP also shows that extreme wildfires are projected to increase globally due to climate change, rising by half by the end of the century. As Swarm Thinkers, we made it our goal to tackle two challenges: the detection of invisible currents and the prediction of wildfire dynamics. We followed the three-step framework. First, we deploy drone swarms to collect data. Then, we process the data to generate predictions using an advanced AI model. Finally, we provide firefighters with an interface, visualizing these predictions and giving them the power to stop the fire before it turns into a catastrophe. After 2 years of continuous development, we tested our system at Shanghai Jiao Tong University, simulating wildfire patterns with controlled heat sources. The results? Our system achieved a 94.1% accuracy in under 2 minutes, while traditional methods require hours or days for similar predictions. FireAids is making the difference between containing a fire and witnessing catastrophe. In 2025, our patent application has been approved, and FireAids has been honorably recognized as an advancement from traditional singular human-operated drones to an autonomous drone swarm. But one successful test isn't the same as real-world impact, so we took the next step, bringing FireAids to actual fire stations in Shanghai. We partnered with multiple fire departments across the city, working directly with the firefighters who risk their lives on the field every day. Over several months, we sat down with them, learned about their daily challenges, and most importantly, observed how they currently use technology in emergency response. What we discovered was striking. Current drones are only used to provide video feeds to command centers, with little value for firefighters at the forefront. Their call for more tangible technologies ensuring their safety in life-saving missions ignited our motivation to bring FireAids from China to frontlines worldwide. Looking ahead, we've come a long way since 2023, when this was just an idea. Through 2 years of intensive research and development, we've earned national patent recognition and are now conducting field missions during wildfire season. But this is just the beginning. Our vision for 2026 and beyond is clear. We want to expand pilot programs worldwide and build a cross-community platform for collaboration. We envision proactively mitigating devastating fires. We endeavor to protect wildland firefighters, reducing fatalities among brave first responders going against invisible dangers. We're helping communities build long-term resilience through preventative measures in vulnerable regions. And we're building a large fire model through our growing global dataset, advancing scientific understanding of wildfires worldwide. But we can't do this alone. This is where the global Ghost Week community comes in. We need your help to connect with high-risk communities worldwide. Whether you work with vulnerable regions facing wildfire threats, know organizations doing disaster preparedness, or have connections to environmental health initiatives, reach out to us. Help us continue to initiate programs, building community resilience and scaling up long-term impact. Because when we bridge the gap between innovation and implementation, when youth voices translate into tangible solutions, when technology meets humanity's most pressing challenges, that's when we transform ambitious SDG commitments into the tangible action our planet desperately needs. Thank you.